Hey, what's going on, guys? How are your meatballs? Today I'm going to be talking to you about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies Mule Kit, coming in DLC 3, Malware to Toten, of course, available on every other Zombies experience within the game, including Onslaught and Outbreak. Of course, Steam Machine and FIREBASE also included in the every Zombies experience part. Now, in this video, we're not going to speculate about what Mule Kit does at its base, because we already know what it does. It gives us an additional primary weapon slot. However, we are going to be speculating about the upgrades. As you guys already know, in Cold War Zombies, there are 5 different upgrades for your perks, and the fourth and fifth levels are actually some juicy levels and give us access to some crazy benefits. Like, for example, with Quick Revive, you can revive yourself if you're down and you get a kill while you're down. You have your Quick Revive upgraded to tier 5. You can completely get back up even if you don't have a self-res. So that's absolutely insane, and as such, I would hope that Mule Kit would have more of an appeal to players if it had some kind of crazy tier 4 and tier 5 upgrade, and of course, awesome abilities throughout all the upgrades, of course. But we'll talk about all that and more throughout this video. I do want to say very quickly, definitely make sure if you are excited for about DLC 3, Malware to Toten, and anything and everything Call of Duty Zombies with the absolute most elite tutorials on the YouTubes, and any other video you guys may need for leaks, rumors, information. Of course, got you guys always covered. Make sure to subscribe here, because I have an insane statistic for you. 97% of you guys over the last 3 months that watch my videos are not subscribed. That is absolutely insane. So definitely make sure you guys subscribe to join the Meatball Army, the most elite community on the Twitches, my friends. And now let's jump into the video. By the way, I do want to say very quickly as well, if you want any information about all the Malware to Toten teasers, kind of talking about them and what they kind of mean, as well as just Call of Duty in general. So I made a video yesterday talking to you about a Call of Duty July update. It was Call of Duty Vanguard and Call of Duty Slipstream, what the deal with that is, when the Call of Duty Vanguard Alpha could be coming out, when Vanguard could be released, or in terms of the trailer, and then the Alpha could be released, I should be saying, and Black Ops 4, when that's going to go free, and how you're going to be able to get that, and literally a massive July update for Call of Duty. So definitely make sure you check that out. It should be in a card on screen somewhere, or should have been already, and it'll probably be linked down below in the description in a playlist. But with that being said, jumping into it now and piggybacking off that last video, coming with DLC 3 at Season 4 Reloaded for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies is Malware to Toten, and alongside that, we're going to be getting a brand new perk, and now officially today, it has been confirmed to be Mule Kit. Now, as I said, I am not speculating with you guys about what Mule Kit will do at its base, because Mule Kit at its base obviously just gives you an additional weapon to use, meaning you don't have 2 weapons to use. When you have Mule Kit, you have 3 weapons to use. In the past, though, one big issue we've had with Treyarch games, or really with any game that featured Mule Kit, was that it didn't indicate which weapon was your Mule Kit weapon, other than IW Zombies, and I think Black Ops 4 may have also done it as well, but I could be wrong about that. Either way, in Black Ops 3, it was not a thing, and it was really annoying to, pick up, the Apothecary Servant or the Stormbow, for example, as your Mule Kit weapon, and if you down, you lose the freaking Wonder Weapon, right? Or whatever gun that you may feel is important, you pick it up as your Mule Kit weapon, and you lose it if you down. That sucks. Now, we're going to be talking about all of the different upgrades, and that'll actually be one thing we discuss, but I think we can all agree that at the very least, to at least know which gun is our Mule Kit gun is a very important tool. Not needed, but it's a really nice tool and pretty important when playing Call of Duty Zombies, and even having the ability to hold 3 guns. This way, if we at any point in time lose Mule Kit or lose our Mule Kit weapon, we know what gun we're going to lose. So on that note, we already stated what Mule Kit does at its base. Now, what about, the 5 different tiers? Well, a few different ideas I've heard going around my live stream, right? I asked you guys, I polled you guys and asked, what could they potentially do with these Mule Kit upgrades? So one of the things that I've heard was that maybe they can give us 2 self revives, not give you 2 self revives, but allow you the ability to hold 2 self revives once you have Mule Kit. Maybe increase your grenade and tactical slots. This way, instead of holding like 3 or 5 of each or whatever it may be, right, you can hold double that. And I think that's a very interesting idea. Now, we're going to be talking about a bunch more things, and we're not going to necessarily speculate on how, if each and every single one of these things worked, at what tier they'd go to, because it's just not going to work like that, right? I'm just throwing out a bunch of different ideas that I heard, and some that I really think could definitely happen, and I don't think that it's completely out of the question that they allow us to expand our grenade slot, especially considering that we have to buy them. I know they drop them to you in the map, but honestly, how many monkey bombs do you really get throughout a Zombies game? You may get a decent amount if you play for a while, but considering that they cost 1,000, like, you don't get that many, I think it would be pretty cool to be able to hold more than just 2. I think you can only hold 2 at a time, right? Maybe 3, but I think you can only hold 2 at a time. Imagine with Mule Kit, not only does it give you an extra weapon, but through the tier upgrades, you're allowed to hold 4 or 5 monkey bombs. Imagine how cool that would be. Or whatever the grenade may be. Maybe it's the decoy nade. You want to hold double those. That would be really, really cool. Now, I don't see Semtexes or the other ones doing anything too wild by holding more of those. Even Tomahawks, because you can pick those back up. But I think you get my point. It would still be useful to some capacity. It would never hurt to have more of something, right? Of course. And in terms of self-reses, that maybe... I'm sorry, I just started going on a burping spree as I started to say that. But in terms of self-reses, right? It probably is, I should say, a very, very overpowered to be able to hold 2 self-reses. But at the end of the day, you know, why not at this point? In previous games like Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies, you know, you had the ability to hold, or you just spawned in with 2 self-reses, and that was it. You had those 2 for the game, and then on your third down, you were dead. Something like that, right? And then in Black Ops 3 Zombies, you didn't have infinite revives. You had to buy quick revive back. You had 4 total downs in the game after your 4th down, considering you're playing a solo game, right? You buy quick revive, and if you down, that's 1 down. You buy it back, that's 2 downs. You buy it back again after the 3rd purchase, quick revive leaves, and then you'd have your 4th down ready to go. After your 4th down, you would no longer have quick revive available to you, and then if you down again, it would be completely over. Something like that, right? So considering that, I don't think it would be completely OP and out of the question, despite all of these stuff available to you in Cold War Zombies, to just allow us to hold a 2nd revive slot. Now, I'm not saying I want that, but I'm just saying I don't think that would be out of the question to say Mule Kick would be able to do that for us, right? So let's see, increase tactical slots, increase, you know, grenade slots, whatever they may be called, the two things, your L1R ones, and then maybe increase self-reses, right? That could be one thing. Also, another thing I've been seeing thrown around the community is even increased ammo. So for example, in Black Ops 4 Zombies, we had the perk Bandolier Bandit. If you think about Black Ops Cold War Zombies right now, the latest Call of Duty Zombies game, right? You see that we have a perk Tombstone. That was the first DLC perk, and Tombstone isn't exactly like it always was. Through some of the upgrades, it turns into the old perk that it was, but with those upgrades, actually is combined with a previous perk as well, and that is Who's Who, and that gives you the ability to go into a ghost form and revive yourself, which is really cool, right? Now let's take that idea and apply it to Mule Kick. Mule Kick, undoubtedly, like if I had a bet, if I was able to bet, I would definitely bet that Mule Kick would incorporate some other perk into it, because it almost has to, right? Mule Kick literally only can give you 3 weapons. Like, that's all it's ever done. Now, it has to incorporate something else, even if it's something like double tap, right? Here's another idea, by the way, just real quick. What if your 3rd weapon has increased firepower? What if they bring a double tap into the game and it's only on your 3rd weapon and it's through Mule Kick? They combine. Listen, I'm not saying these are amazing ideas. I'm not saying they're bad ideas either. I'm just throwing out a bunch of different ideas. Mule Kick, your 3rd weapon can have extra kick, extra firepower. Who the heck knows? I just think that's a very, very interesting idea, and I wouldn't mind it all too much either. I think that's a very interesting solution. I think it's definitely an idea if Treyarch doesn't want to add double tap in. It does seem like they really do not want to add it in. I don't blame them, but it seems like they don't want to add it in. If that is true, then why not play around with the idea of, okay, we're not going to give you double tap specifically, but with Mule Kick on your 3rd weapon, you get that increased firepower. So you have to challenge yourself. You have to wait to get that 3rd gun, and then you make that third gun. You make that whatever gun you want to be your Mule Kick weapon, your 3rd gun, and that's the gun you're going to have increased firepower on. I think that's an interesting idea to play around with. You have to be very strategic with it, and then, hey, if you lose Mule Kick, you'll lose access to the gun probably, right? And this is another thing we're going to talk about, right, as well. Going down and losing Mule Kick, are you going to lose the gun? Hopefully not. Hopefully we have at least evolved past that to the point where if you are playing Cold War Zombies and you down, say you lose all your perks, right? Big deal. You go back to the Wonder Fizz machine, say you have 100,000 points, you buy all your perks back, you're completely fine, you have Mule Kick, and then you should be able to switch to your 3rd gun again. I personally believe that once you buy Mule Kick back, you should get your third gun back, and if they want to, again, this could be a tier 5 upgrade. Upon rebuying or upon downing or whatever it may be, you always keep your 3rd Mule Kick weapon. Whenever it may happen, once you rebuy Mule Kick, you get that 3rd Mule Kick weapon back. And if you want to switch it out, you can. It's not that it's permanent, it's just that the slot is permanent. It's retained no matter what. So whenever you buy Mule Kick back, you get that gun back. And again, maybe combine that with another tier that gives that 3rd weapon extra firepower, or even play around with it again, right? Maybe reduce or no splash damage on the 3rd weapon. This way it makes, you know, something like the ray gun or wonder weapons even more, it makes you strategize a little bit more on how and when you want to get them in the game, right? I think that would be an interesting idea to play around with. Not necessarily that the increased firepower will definitely happen, but I definitely think that they will not allow us to lose that 3rd weapon after, you know, we'll say max of a tier 5 upgrade. I think we'll always retain our Mule Kick weapon. I think that's for sure. Excluding everything else, I think just focusing on weapons, you're going to get your 3rd weapon and you will not be able to lose it so long as you have Mule Kick on you. And when you buy Mule Kick back, you'll get that weapon right back. I sincerely believe that that is at least one of the abilities that Mule Kick will have on top of its base ability. Now, going back to what I was saying before about perks being combined, we have Cold War Zombies, Tombstone with Tombstone, OG Tombstone, and what is it, Who's Who being combined into one perk. Now in Cold War, we're gonna have Mule Kick, and I see a lot of people saying that they actually want Bandolier Bandit combined with Mule Kick, and I can definitely see that. And where I see that more specifically happening, and maybe it'll be throughout all the weapons that you hold, but I see it more specifically happening with the Mule Kick weapon. Again, just imagine some kind of crazy Mule Kick version. This is me going out on a limb here. I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but I'm just to, you know, sometimes to understand concepts, you have to go to the extremes, right? Just think about it like this. Just imagine your third weapon had, just say, double damage, right? Just say it had some kind of crazy double tap ability. It had double damage, no splash damage for the sake of it, right? And it had increased ammo. Just imagine how strategic you'd have to be in your zombies game to really work your way around, work around with whatever weapons you want to work with to get that third and final weapon to be the most powerful weapon in that game, because you'd have that double damage, you'd have the reduced splash damage, you'd have the extra ammo with it through those tier 5 upgrades, and it would really make Mule Kick worth it, right? I think that's really the question here right now, is how is Treyarch going to make running Mule Kick worth it in Cold War Zombies? Perks are supposed to be very beneficial. They're supposed to almost be necessities. Think about Jug. You don't need any perk, right? But why would you play zombies without Jug? Same thing with Quick Revive. Why would you heal slower, right? It just makes sense to get it. Now, Speak Hole, on the other hand, is not really great. You just reload slow either way, but why not reload a little bit quicker, right? You get my point? So why not just get Mule Kick, or why get Mule Kick? In the past, it's always been like this. Okay, you can have an extra weapon, but here is the real drawback. You could actually die by having Mule Kick on you if you forget which weapon's your Mule Kick slot, even avoiding the indicator, because you're not going to see the indicator until you switch the weapon. So sometimes you may forget which weapon's your Mule Kick weapon. You'll hit triangle or whatever it is to switch the weapon, right? And you'll switch to the wrong weapon, and you're screwed and you die. So again, that brings us back to the main question. What will make Mule Kick worth it within Cold War Zombies? Why should I buy Mule Kick within Cold War Zombies? Well, if you had that some kind of bonus damage, I think that right there is an easy, pick me up right now indicator for Mule Kick. On top of that, maybe extra ammo in the gun. So even if it doesn't have bonus damage, right? Like, I don't think it's going to. This is just me again going to the extremes to express how important that third slot could potentially be if they do this right. But just imagine in that third slot, if you were really strategic about it and it gives you extra ammo, you have to revolve your whole game around that third slot and eventually plan to the point where in D Machina you get the ray gun in that third slot and you have extra ammo because Mule Kick features Bandolier Bandit as one of its upgrades. They'll probably not necessarily say Bandolier Bandit, but it'll be increased ammo. For those of you guys who don't know what Bandolier Bandit is, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but yeah, it increases the amount of ammo in your weapon. So just imagine, maneuvering your game around that. Now, obviously Zombies isn't maneuvering your game around buying each individual perk, but a lot of Zombies is buying, or a lot of the beginning game in Zombies is getting your way up to buy Jug and Quick Revive. And I mean, even in the past, it's been the same way. In Cold War, it's just for different reasons to some capacity, right? And even Deadshot is kind of like the double tap of this game as for now, right? So why not make it so that Mule Kick is one of those perks where you really have to kind of try to, want to pick up as early as possible. This way, if you get a good weapon, you can make it your Mule Kick weapon by choice and be good to go, if you get what I'm saying. Not necessarily that it's the hardest thing to play and stuff, but who knows? Maybe you hit the box once, not expecting anything, and you got a ray gun, and it winds up not being your Mule Kick weapon because you don't have it, and you're screwed because there's no way to put your weapon down. Actually, I guess there is technically, but you know what I mean? I think that would be a very interesting thing. I'm dead serious. I actually just remember you can put your weapons down. If you buy a wall gun, you can actually put your weapon down and then pick it back up, I guess, in your Mule Kick slot. But even then, I think you guys get what I'm saying. To even avoid that frustration, you have to maneuver your whole game around everything in Cold War Zombies. To just plan around that Mule Kick slot. Either way, whatever the deal may be, even if you're not planning around it, I think it's still very, very important to know or to say that Mule Kick has to be at least worthwhile. Otherwise, it's going to be really disappointing to go into Cold War and just say, hey, all Mule Kick does is give me an extra weapon, and that's it. At the very least, even if it gives you extra ammo, I will take that. That is good to go. And if it gives you the extra grenades, the extra self-reses, whatever else it may give you, I think that is really, really awesome. And who knows, maybe it'll even give you an extra charge of your specialist weapon. Now, a lot of the stuff that I've been saying is a real push, but I'm just giving you guys different ideas onto what Mule Kick could potentially do. Because let's forget about the weapons for a second. There's 5 different perk tier upgrades to this perk. It has to, I would highly doubt that every single upgrade would pertain to just the weapons in your hand. Maybe you will, but just going out on a limb, and I'm gonna guess that it's gonna extend to something else, at least one other thing, whether that be self-reses, grenades, your field upgrade, something like that. It's just a guess of mine that it would extend out onto something else. And as such, I wanted to speculate about a bunch of different ways that Mule Kick could work, both for weapons, your grenade slots, your whatever else you may have have available to you in your game, I just think was really fun to speculate about. Definitely a live stream. Like, we talked about this for hours over live streams about different ways that this could work, and I think we came to some really cool ideas and to some really cool conclusions about what's realistic and what's not realistic. And again, let's just wrap this up by saying I think the most realistic deal is with Mule Kick, we get obviously 3 weapons as its base ability, and then through the 5 tier upgrades, we gain the ability to never lose the Mule Kick weapon so long as we have Mule Kick and or buy Mule Kick back. And then probably at some kind of, you know, point, we'll probably through the perk upgrades, we'll probably have increased ammo, potentially only on that Mule Kick weapon, which would make Mule Kick more valuable, right? But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I just, again, wanted to speculate about what could be going on. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on what I said in this video and what else you may think down below in the comment section. I will see you in the next video. Take care, your meatballs.
I've been wishing for some better days.